call this meeting to order. The Tuesday, January 25th, 2022 Ad Hoc Fine Arts Committee meeting. First do I have to call it to order and then I let Paula in? Okay, great. Roll call, please, Michelle.
Member LaPlante.
Here.
Member Chavez.
Here.
Member Garcia.
Here still?
Member Hart. Not here. Member Rutledge.
Here.
Member Selman.
Here.
Shannon's trying to get on.
You have to allow me to.
Yep, and then there's been a request to allow remote participation from Member Deacon Garcia under Section 7A of the Open Meetings Act. Pursuant to Section 7A of the Open Meetings Act, if a quorum of the members of the public body is physically present as required by Section 2.101, a majority of the public body may allow a member of that body to attend the meeting by other means if the member is prevented from physically attending because of personal illness or disability. Is there a motion to allow Member Deacon Garcia to participate pursuant to 7A of the Open Meetings Act?
Second.
Wonderful. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Anyone opposed? That passes. Thank you. Welcome. I hope you're feeling better, Member Deacon Garcia. Okay, I move to approve the minutes from our last Ad Hoc Fine Arts Committee, the regular meeting that was held on Tuesday, September 7th, 2021.
Second.
Wonderful. May I please have a roll call, Michelle?
Sure. Member LaPlante.
Here. Aye.
Member Chavez.
Aye.
Member Garcia.
Aye.
Member Rutledge.
Aye.
Member Selman.
Aye.
Great. Do we have any public comment?
No.
Okay, wonderful. So that brings us to Chairwoman's remarks. I would like to wish everyone a happy and healthy new year. I'm really pulling for 2022. Everyone do whatever you need to do, knock on wood, anything. Welcome back to our Ad Hoc Fine Arts Committee. It's wonderful to be working on all things arts related again. We have a lot to discuss and many happy updates to announce. But first, I would like to introduce some new people and organizations that have joined our committee. I would like to welcome Member Chavez, who has been working with me on this initiative all along as Chair of Economic Development, and whose mission for that committee dovetails so perfectly with the fine arts goals. So we welcome her.
Thank you.
And welcome to Shannon Green Robb, President of the Arnmore Arts and event producer at Arnmore Farm and Polo Grounds. And also a hearty welcome to the Old Town School of Music. We are so lucky to have their expertise, their vast experience, and their support of our DuPage Community Arts Festival and our overall mission to highlight the arts in DuPage County. We have Jim Newcomb, Executive Director and CEO, as well as Troy Hansborough and Jenna Murfin from their concert and festival production team. Our committee continues to grow and expand, and I'm humble and grateful for the enthusiasm, professionalism, and support our community members and my colleagues bring with them to this initiative. Thank you very much for all. And if there's anyone who would like to introduce themselves, I'm not sure if Shannon was able to get in. I know she was having trouble.
This is Jim on, but.
Okay, is that Jim McGuire or Jim Newcomb?
Just says Jim.
I think that's Jim McGuire. He needs no introduction, right? Oh, Jim is in the waiting room.
Must be on the wrong meeting. There's no waiting room.
Well, I can't text them now, so they're in some waiting room somewhere. Yeah, in cyberspace. Shoot, we'll loop them in somehow. So they must. I don't know if you want to.
Can you accept into there for wherever they're trying to get in?
Or do you just have their email that Wendy could resend them the right link?
I could resend the link.
Could you resend the link to everyone?
Do you have the list? No.
Do you have his email list?
I do. Let me try and redo that.
You know, Jim at DuPageCountyFair.org.
No, that's
the other
the wrong
one.
Jim. I'd have to pull up my.
Just write it on there and then tell me when you're done.
Yeah, well, okay. So Amy, why don't you introduce yourself while I help get our members out of purgatory?
Yeah, so I'm Amy Chavez, Chair of Economic Development. I've been sitting in on this committee because I think we see this as for DuPage County as such a tremendous economic driver as we support the arts in our community. I think Chair LaPlante's vision for this and Vice Chair Rutledge have done a great job of really talking to how we can grow the arts in our community, how they have a long-term vision for where this can go. And I think the key is that we're really engaging our economic partners throughout the county that also happen to overlap a lot with Choose DuPage. So I think it's a perfect synergy between the two committees. So I'm really excited to be here and look forward to working with everyone.
Thank you so much. Let me give you, oh, that one. Thank you, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you.
And we have, and for representing Choose DuPage, is Amy Schilling is with us today in person. We're getting some of our other members in.
Write down more if you need them.
Yeah, this is, I just don't feel like, you know what, maybe I could have, I don't want to take away from my time here, but let's see. Sorry, Shannon, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you out in real time here, unless you want to get this, see that email address down there? I'll bring that over to her.
You just write it on a paper.
Yeah, okay. So let's, when they get in, has Jim gotten in yet? Okay. Well, let's just move on to our discussion and then hopefully they'll ping in and then we'll let them have the floor. So let's just start moving on to 5A, discussion planning for the DuPage Community Arts Festival. I'm proud of our tough but responsible decision that we had to make in postponing our inaugural DuPage Community Arts Festival when we were faced with dramatically rising case numbers here in DuPage and beyond. I would like to take this opportunity to once again thank our health department, especially Karen Ayala and Chris Hoff, who really helped guide us and make that decision. That was a tough call and they were right and we were right because these numbers, that got to a scary place. Plus, without the vaccinations, with children weren't vaccinated at that point, we're going to be in a much, much better place in the spring. We all just have to insist on that. So positive thinking. But I would really like to thank the health department again. And so now we're officially rescheduled. We're moved. The date is Memorial Day weekend, May 27th and 28th. We will be, Jim McGuire, who's here, has put in some new requirements in place on the county fairgrounds that I'm going to have him speak to us about that, but it's going to focus on making sure that we're increasing safety, and it's going to make it a lot easier for people to feel comfortable gathering in large groups. So Jim, would you like to speak to that, please? And he's on.
He is, he's just muted.
In the last 2 years, we've kind of been the COVID response for the county for the testing, vaccination, working with the health department, and we want to continue the same messaging that we're here to support the community and help us get to a safer, better place. So the Fair Association has put in place a proof of vaccination requirement for everyone 5 years old and up. And require a photo ID with everyone 16 and up, and require to wear a mask while inside our building for everyone 2 and up. And that's going into place for any events on the fairgrounds until we find our way to a better place in the community. So that's something we're putting into place for all events on the fairgrounds that will be occurring this year. And that is effective as of February 14th. 2022.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Jim, for that update. And thank you for putting those safety measures in place. I really appreciate it. And I know everyone here does, because that's just going to make everything we can do to ensure the health and safety of our guests is our priority. So let's talk about our sponsorships. So currently, we have received over $20,000 in sponsorships, as well as about another $20,000 in-kind donations for the Arts Festival. We're grateful for the support of our sponsors, Choose DuPage, WDCB, DuPage Foundation, Mesero Financial, Wheaton Bank and Trust, Christopher Burke Engineering, and Macklin. As for the next steps in securing more sponsorships and donors, I would like to talk to each one of my colleagues here on the committee and ask that everyone solicit for one donation from their district for this event. That way we can ensure an equitable support from around the county. So I think obviously between the 6 of us, we all have contacts that we know within our district. And this way everyone gets, like I said, an involvement. So, you know, I'm seeing that no one has gotten the email with the link. Jim is on, I know, but you're gonna have to, it's gonna have to be resent. Do you think you could do that, Michelle, or, because it's something, I'm getting texts from people who never received the Zoom link.
And is one that you didn't already write down?
Correct.
Oh, I see.
So none of those, yeah, so
Who
Is there-
sent out
is
the
it-
original in November?
could you just resend it maybe?
Yeah.
To make sure, because I can't do that while I'm here, because I'm trying to get that, but I think there's too many people saying, I didn't get it, so it's probably just in that one email. So I know that Amy, Member Chavez, we've worked closely talking to different business partners throughout the community, and we're going to continue to do that. And I know we're relying really, we lean very much on Choose DuPage, who's partnered up with us so beautifully, and to also talk to some other business leaders that would like to support this initiative. So we're just going to keep locking arms and moving together on that. Yes.
Would you be able to send us the sponsorship document that I know we
Absolutely.
put together forever ago, just so it's in our inboxes again?
Sure. So would you like the sponsorship deck?
Yes, that way
Absolutely.
we know what to ask for and what the amounts are, and
Yes.
we can come to you if we have any questions after that.
Yes, so we worked with Macklin, who was absolutely very, very, okay, someone's found it, they're coming in. Very helpful in putting together the sponsorship deck and beautiful logos. And so I will resend that out, and we're also including the updated dates. Obviously, they're revising it for the new reschedule, and the list of acts. So that's all ready to go. So that should be easy to distribute, and it's emailable electronically. And also you can bring it to, you know, we can have it printed out if you're having in-person meetings. So we'll definitely get that out. And then just so you know, the schedule for the festival is as follows. It's going to be the VIP event on Friday night, where we thank our sponsors and donors, and we kick the festival off. And that's sponsored by Choose DuPage. And they are hosting their board meeting, and then that'll go right into the event. So it's a wonderful way to get all the members of Choose DuPage and the business community there. So we're really looking forward to that. Cannot wait. The next day, on Saturday, the 28th, the doors open at 10 a.m. and they're going to stay open till 11 p.m. So it's going to be one big long day. Bring a blanket, bring some chairs, and come on down and stay a while to experience the DuPage Symphony, Elmhurst Symphony, Orbert Davis Quintet, Muriel Anderson, Anima Children's Choir, Brightside Theater, Music Institute of Chicago, Mariachi Monumental, Los Monarques, Nahui Olin, some Senegal drummers, and the Ides of March, to name a few. Also, obviously, we're going to be having visual artists as well. The admission is, and so I'm going to say 2 numbers. One is for buying advance online, and one is at the door. Adults, 20 in advance and 25 at the door. Child, 10 in advance, 12 at the door. A family, $50 in advance, 60 at the door. And children under 3 are free. So this is what we're thinking about for our next action steps, and feel free to chime in. We would like to be working on delegating the upcoming tasks amongst the committee members and our partners for the DuPage Community Arts Festival. So we're looking for, I was thinking maybe, let's see, Member Rutledge, working with the visual artists and vendors,
Sure.
along with Shannon and Debbie from Arts DuPage. Okay, great. Let's see. Amy and Greg, we can talk about sponsorships. Sorry, yes. Amy and Greg, you're roped in, girl. So sponsorships, Member Deacon Garcia and Member Salman, food trucks and vendors and beer. And I know that Jim McGuire is the one handling a lot of that too, so you'd work closely with him. And then Greg Hart and I was thinking we could work, I mean, I'm going to be working on all of these, but we'll put his muscle behind the VIP event. So these are just examples. If someone says, actually, no, I'd much rather do this, we'll do that. We can figure it out. But this way, many hands make light work. So all of the heavy lifting has been done. We've had all these months of working on it. We've gotten everything in place. And now it's time for like basically the sprinkles on top. And that's what we're going to be working on. Does anyone have any questions or ideas that they would like to suggest? Oh, yes, Member Deacon Garcia.
Yeah, thank you, Chair LaPlante. As I said at the September meeting, it's going to be difficult for me to do any of the food trucks. I think Member Selman and I were kind of talking about that because this is like the worst time because I also do a garden, which I'm the chairman of, and got some other things going on. And quite honestly, I didn't know I was still going to be in charge of this, or I would have got them last fall. So I'm going to have to decline doing the food trucks at this point in time.
What would you like to do instead, Member Deacon Garcia?
I'm looking, I wish I would have had this all in front of me, quite honestly, so I could look at all the choices. Let me think about it and I will get back to you.
Coming after off the top of my head, like this isn't something that's delegated and assigned. I'm giving for examples. So by all means, if there's something else that you prefer doing, we would love to have your support and your help as a committee member. So you can absolutely come up with what you would feel most comfortable doing.
Okay, I will let you know. All right.
All right, that sounds great.
I'll just work with Jim on food. That'll be fine.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Member Selman. Anyone else have any questions?
Just a quick question about visual artists. Are you talking about like roving artists or slots on stage?
So this is in the horseshoe when we're having them set up into vendors, but also in terms of we are talking about plein air artists, and there's going to, you know, those types of visual artists that are going to be actively creating during the day. Do we have anyone else that is on that was able to get in?
No, she sent it out again, but
Okay. Well, there's some type of tech issues. Tech gremlins are happening. I know. Wonderful. Anyone else have any suggestions or ideas for this? Anything Choose DuPage would like to say?
No, I just, this is a good reminder for me, for the people we're still following up with.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And any meetings, we're happy to, I'm there. You just say the name, the date, time, I'm there. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Okay, well, does anyone, I think we've gone over that. If there's no other questions or comments, I will move on to old business. Does anyone have any old business?
But if anyone else, especially if there's some festivals coming back this year, if you see things, feel free to just like take a picture of the sign of listing the vendors and I'll kind of pick through it. But thank you. And it gets started again.
We do have both some artists who had expressed interest and food truck and food vendors who expressed interest in being part of the event from our past schedule. And most of them just want us to reach out and see if they can still participate. So we do have, you know, some of these things are already in place, and it's just a matter of making sure that they can fit into this current schedule and day that we have on the schedule.
Perfect. I'll send you an email. We can connect offline then whenever works for you, Jim. Thank you.
Very good. Bye now.
Member Deacon Garcia.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. I'm wondering if like all the stuff you mentioned today, which is the artists and like sponsorships, if we can get that all sent to us. I think Member Selman was asking the same thing, so maybe I'm repeating myself on that. But I just don't have anything in front of me. There's nothing in the packet, so I would just like to go over it on that if I can request that.
Yes, of course. So we were just talking about that. The sponsorship deck is going to be sent out, all of that. Yep, absolutely.
Okay, also the marketing information, I think that was promised to us last September and I haven't really gotten anything yet. And I know that some of my Chamber of Commerce were really looking to market this. So I'm looking to get the marketing information to
we've got that's the sponsorship deck too that has that marketing information. It's all coming from the same spot and that's all done. So absolutely, of course, we have our marketing plan. And we're working with the county on that as well. That's obviously the whole partnership here is with the county behind us and using their marketing tools and their email distribution lists. We're going to be doing that as well. Okay, any more old business? Okay, any new business? Oh, yes. Go ahead.
Me again. I wish I was there so I could have these discussions. I feel like I'm kind of pausing in and out, but so I apologize for any technical difficulties. I'm a little bit concerned that we've had this committee together, and this is nothing to reflect on anybody here in the committee. And we've really not helped the artists that are in need. We're on our third surge of COVID, as everyone knows, as I'm sitting at home with COVID. And I just feel like we can probably do a little bit more than just this one thing. I guess one thing is great. I'm not saying anything against this, but I'm wondering if we could, like, at least as a request as a committee, to get like $100,000 through our ARPA funds to help the artists that are struggling, whether it will be through Choose DuPage or Arts DuPage or something like that. I'm wondering if we can put forth something like that to go before the county board, so we can at least help out while we're waiting for this event to happen.
Sure. Nick is here. He would like to answer that.
Sure.
Perfect question. This committee can make whatever request that you would like. I would definitely say that to give it the best possible chance for success would be kind of a detailed, we need 100,000 to do this type of program, administered this way. So that would be something this committee could then, we could move forward to finance for consideration by the full board. You know, whatever number and whatever program or procedure, you know, but that needs to be kind of thought out a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you so much, Nick. Member Salman?
If I could just add, I know we definitely have given money to support the arts. It was probably maybe more through CARES Act, so a little bit before you.
Yeah.
But I bet if you look through the Reinvest DuPage program, both through arts and hospitality, which I think really is this bucket we're trying to address, we certainly get dollars in direct support. This is a longer term development thing. So if you, the ad hocs are pretty defined in what our job is. The chairman defines the ad hoc. So I would maybe suggest if you have some idea that's outside the scope of the committees, that you would talk to the chairman about that.
Oh, I'd be happy to. I just kind of thought the scope of the committee was to help artists and everything that was dealing with COVID. So I guess I was a little confused on what the scope was. I didn't realize it was just this one event. So I apologize if I didn't understand.
Don't worry, we'll make sure you keep understanding. We'll bring you along. Don't worry. Yes.
Yeah, no, I was just going to point out that I know through Reinvest that Choose DuPage administered, we had a lot of artists, primarily musicians, that were helped through that program. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so we continue to do that, and that is our focus, and it's also highlighting the arts in DuPage County. And as sort of to underscore what Nick was saying, a great way to do that is to make sure that you raise the visibility of arts, and that's what this festival is going to do. And we have, you know, long-range plans, short-range plans that we're kicking around that we're all going to be discussing, and we can keep continuing this course of action. Yes, Member Selman.
I just want to kind of reiterate too why we chose an event. It's because they bring a massive amount of one-time economic activity with a trail of long-term investment. The best example I can think of this right now is there's a lot of talk about the Bears moving from Chicago to Arlington Heights. And the only thing I keep hearing is $250 million of revenue in the suburbs. And it's not that, you know, we would do a Super Bowl every year, but if you focus, you get that one-time investment. So we've done that. We're doing it with one-time investment. We're doing long-term aid through Choose DuPage. So I'm really proud of the work this board's done to support the hospitality industry.
Yes, thank you so much, Member Salman. And this is how you start. This is what it looks like to start. You know what, Member Garcia, if you have more questions, I'm happy that we could talk more. Oh
yeah, absolutely. I just had one more question about the early mail-in, and I forgot to ask them in their old business. They're going to have early voting at the same location. I'm just wondering how we're going to deal with that, and I apologize for not bringing this up sooner.
Well, so is Jim still on the line, Jim McGuire?
I am. It's occurring on the other end of the fairgrounds, so it's really not impactful whatsoever. We had early voting. Actually, we had the general election and COVID testing going on at the exact same time on the fairgrounds, and that was numbers of people that were extraordinary, and we handled it. It's just a matter of logistically planning out how you're going to move the traffic and the people, but I don't believe there's any impact on one another on this, just because of the size of the fairgrounds and where the two activities are located at.
All right, thank you, Jim. I guess if I could get like exactly where everything's going to be located, because I'm not. This is my first time.
Voting's on the south. The voting's on the south end of the building, and the event is on the north end, and it's separated by the hill of the grandstand. So it's quite a bit of a space in between, and there's a lot of room to accommodate both.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jim.
Remember, Member Deacon Garcia, we did a tour and you saw it, so we showed you everything. So that's what he's referring to. And if you need, I'm happy, and I'm sure Jim would agree, I can imagine what he's like in a golf court with snow. If you would like to repeat that tour, absolutely, I'm game if you are, anytime, okay. All right, wonderful. All right, if there's any other new business, no, okay, then I move to adjourn today's meeting.
Second.
Thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, then we thank you very much, everyone. Today's meeting is adjourned until next month, February 22nd at 2 p.m.